We continue our Advent reflections in the book of Genesis, and we're still exploring God's tremendous love for us and the ways that God shows this tremendous love for us, and the fact that God keeps God's promises. God made some pretty big promises to a man named Abraham. Actually, Abraham's name was Abram, and his wife's name was Sarai. And God told Abraham to leave the place where he lived and journey a long way away to a new place that God wanted Abraham to call home. And Abraham went with Sarai. And God promised Abraham that his family would be so large. His family would be so large that the numbers of his descendants couldn't even be counted, more than the stars in the sky and the sands on the shore. But time passed, and Abraham's wife, Sarah, hadn't had any babies. Abraham and Sarah must have been really, really worried about how God was going to keep this promise. Abraham's first son, Ishmael, was born to Sarah's Egyptian servant woman, Hagar. Later, when Sarah had a son herself, he was named Isaac, which means laughter. The laughter that Sarah had when someone told her she actually was going to have a child at such an advanced age. But after Isaac was born, Sarah has a son of her own. She no longer wanted Ishmael to continue to grow up with Isaac. And so Abraham sent Hagar and Ishmael away. And it was a sad day. But God keeps God's promises. God sent word to Hagar and reminded her that Ishmael wouldn't be forgotten. Even though Abraham had sent them away, Ishmael too would be the father of a nation, just as God has promised. We are thankful today for the gift of God's love for us, even when our neighbors, even when those closest to us can't see the image of God in us and a reason to love and care for us. We are thankful this day for the gift of God keeping God's promises.